Okay, there we go, Oliver. There we go. Hi, Missy, Annette, Kat. Good morning. All right, you're gonna have to lay down. I've already fed you. You've had a treat. You're good. You have to lay down and go out. You have to get down in a minute anyway. No, can't come over this way. Let's see. Who else is here? Laverne. Hi, Janet. Let's see. Oliver's not the one to just delay and be a good studio cat. He wants to explore, walk all over everything, you know. So, hi, Pamela. Of course, they don't know that I'm not talking to them. Kristen, Arlene. Who else am I missing? Anyway, so yeah, pull our prompts here in a little bit. There's Terry Brett. It's pouring down rain out here. Let me see if I can. Let me move this over so I can look out the window here. It's pouring down rain out there. Let's see. Barbara, Sylvia. Thanks everybody for being here. Debbie, good morning. I said hi to Arlene. Let's see. Try to catch everybody at the beginning. Make sure you put it in caps if you're talking to me. I won't think you're yelling at me. Let's see. So you're gonna sing today, Barbara? It's always good to see you. Where'd she go? Where'd she go? There she is. Let's see. Christina, let me get a sip of my lemon water. I posted my Inktober this morning, and let's see. I'm gonna work in my art journal with the Boogie Boo collage suit and the Timekeeper's Atlas. These two, I've already pulled some images, and they're somewhere. They're in there. Hi, Hard House. So yeah, it got cold. I mean, it's not that freezing compared to some people's places, but it got cold. Let's see. 52. It's 52, which is the coldest it's been all year. So, let's see. Cindy. So, did y'all do anything fun over the weekend? Because this chair does not move on this rug. Denise said she might stop in today. I think she's home today working on her fourth job. She does her eBay on the side hustle. So she said she might stop in. Samantha came down Saturday and we went out thrifting. She got her a whole bunch more stuff to make let me see where the pictures are, to make some more of her, the belts and the corset things. Let me see. Here was my pictures. I think she said she sold all of them the last time. I think the last time I told y'all. She sold all of them, like these kinds. So she makes them out of other, like that's an old pair of khaki pants. She sold all of them. I think she said she made $600. So there goes Oliver. She's gonna make another batch of them. So, and she makes the corsets, and so plus she's working on her, she graduates in May. So she's also got a part-time job with the library museum doing in the historical section. So she's busy. So the fact that she could come down here, and Hubster made us a steak so she could eat something good while she was down here. And so he grilled out. And then I think she said she went to Six Flags with her friends. So she had a busy weekend. Let's see. Belinda. There's Tina. Did Tina push? Yeah, there she did. She put a whole bunch of people in there. And I did get a picture from Cameron. He did divert through Portland to go so he could go to Powell's bookstore Let's see, where's his picture? Then well, I don't know if he's still there, but then they flew to Salt Lake City, and then from there they're driving the rest of the way across country. So the group of them from Yellowstone, their 6-month contract was up, so they all we're going to do this road trip. Let's see, I got a picture of them here somewhere. So we FaceTimed. So there's Cam. FaceTimed, and yeah. There we go. We FaceTimed from Powell's bookstore, which he was in. That's his heaven right there. Powell's bookstore. Oh my gosh. Samantha too. They both are big readers. But let's see. I know, right, Terry? I know. She did good. And so we went to the thrift store, Goodwill, and she bought her a bunch more. Like, she'll take the old khaki pants, and she got two big bags of old pants that she can use the belts, the little metal, the lacing, the pockets, the hardware. She uses all that to make those. Then we went to Michael's, and she bought some more thread and stuff for her sewing machine. And then we went to Old Navy, and she got her a couple outfits there, and then came back, ate a steak. She had to leave. So she didn't get to spend the night or anything, because she was going to meet her friends to go to Six Flags. So, yeah. Let's see. Who else am I missing? Teresa Lilly, Cindy Daly, Riri. Hey, Riri. It is. It's a little mini works of art. I told her what you said, though, Tina. I told her what you said when I showed it last week, and I said, Tina said if she put one of those on, somebody would ask her what was broken. She loved that, Tina. What was broken? Let's see. Scroll. So anyway, she said that when she makes another batch, she'll let me know, and I'll tell y'all about it. She sells it on Depop, but she sold everything, sold it out. So let's see. We got to do our prompts for Terry. Oh, and I did, and it was so funny. Remember last week when twice last week, I think it was Monday and Wednesday, I talked about the lady from the Black Lagoon, the creature from the Black Lagoon, and the woman that made up the creature, and I could not find that book anywhere. And I went down there twice. Then I went later and looked 2 or 3 more times. I could not find that thing. The Hubster looked. He couldn't find it either. So what I had done, I had put it with the Hollywood books. Hubster loves old Hollywood. He loves old Hollywood. So he has a whole collection of old Hollywood. And I had put this book in that section. We do kind of put our, we store our books by, the theme, if you will, like I have all my art books together. Okay. So Denise just said I know it's a yucky day. We'll be there within the hour. So anyway, she said she'll stop in. So I found the book. I actually wanted to make myself a card catalog at one time, Arlene, and it was way too much work. I said, no, I'm not going to do it. I'll just store all my books by category. Hi, me. So I found it. This is the book, Mallory O'Meara, and you can follow her on, let me find her on IG. Hang on. Let me go over to IG. Let me search up Mallory. So yeah, the book's a few years old. Let's see, what year did it come out? 2019, and that's when I bought it. Mallory O'Meara. Did I spell it right? Oh, no, I did not. I did not spell it right. But there she is. So here she is. I'll show you. Well, I won't show you a video, but there she is there. She's the one that wrote the book. And let's see. Let me find a better picture here. This is from 2019. Here she is. There she is. She's the one that wrote the book. And so, anyway, you can follow her over on IG, and I'll read you the little uh, inside here. Let's see. Do I need to zoom in one? Probably one. And then let's see here. Let's fix this. I have my little lights up here. See, got my little. At least put the thankful in there. There we go. Okay. So let's see. Oh, thanks, Kat. Kat put it right up there. You can probably get it in paperback now, I'm sure. All right, so let's see what it says here. The Lady from the Black Lagoon uncovers the life and work of Millicent Patrick, one of Disney's first female animators and the only woman in history to create one of Hollywood's classic movie monsters. As a teenager, Mallory O'Meara was thrilled to discover that the author here was thrilled to discover that one of her favorite movies, Creature from the Black Lagoon, featured a monster designed by a woman, Millicent Patrick. But for someone who should have been hailed as a pioneer of the genre, there was little information available. For, as O'Meara soon discovered, Patrick's contribution had been claimed by a jealous male colleague. Her career had been cut short, and she soon after disappeared from film history. No one even knew if she was still alive. As a young woman working in the horror film industry, O'Meara, the author, set out to right the wrong, and in the process discovered the full fascinating story of an ambitious artistic woman ahead of her time. Patrick's contribution to special effects proved to be just the latest chapter in a remarkable, unconventional life. From her youth growing up in the shadow of Hearst Castle to her career as one of Disney's first female animators, and at last, O'Meara discovered what really had happened to Patrick after the creature's success and where she went. A true life detective story and a celebration of a forgotten feminist trailblazer. Mallory O'Meara, the Lady from the Black Lagoon, establishes Patrick in her rightful place in film history while calling out a Hollywood culture where little has changed since. And that was written in 2019. So that's it. I don't think I'm going to pictures. I don't remember. I think there's some. It's a few, I think. It's so funny. Hubster's reading a new well, I don't know how new it is. I can't remember the date. But he's reading a big, thick autobiography on Clint Eastwood. And Hubster does not look at the pictures in the book until he gets to them. I just don't understand that. That's the first thing I do is I go right to the pictures. I read all the cover, I read the intro, I read the introduction, the acknowledgments, I read it all. Then I go right to the pictures. So anyway, there's Millicent and Patrick and the creature there. So anyway, yeah, he doesn't do that. He doesn't go to the pictures right away, And I said, "How can you do that?" He goes, "I'll get to him." There she is working, Disney. So anyway, I enjoyed the book because I think Hubster read it too. Let's see. Ellen, who else am I missing? Let me go back here and see. Hi, Beth. Hi, Messy Dye. Messy Dye is in Australia and she sells digital, digi collage stuff. So go follow Messy Palette AU. That's Australia. Let's see what else here. Said hi to Missy. Tina. Oh, and Tina Sweden is here. Here we go. She posted on Instagram. I took a picture of it so I could show y'all because sometimes Instagram doesn't want to load for me. Let's see. Let me go to my pictures because I kept it so I could show it. Here it is. So she's Tina Art 64. It's not art, and it's not Tina. The mod Tina. This is Tina Sweden. She's in Sweden. There's Tina. There she is. And this was, if it'll work here. I was going to turn it, make it bigger. But anyway, she won one of the giveaways, a whole bunch of like little collage fodder to make a postcard. And this is what she made with it. If you go over to Instagram and follow her and you'll see it better. Tina Art 64. And so she made this postcard. Whoops, I was going to show when Tori got here. Hang on, one thing at a time. So I thought that was really good that she made that with the stuff that she won. So I hope when y'all get your little collage kits, if you win them, that you enjoy making something with them. Let's see. I said hi to Belinda. Who else am I missing? So thanks, Tina. Y'all go follow Tina Art 64. Not to be confused with Catacomic 64 Tina, this Tina. Let's see. Do you have any Hannah Carlson? Yes, I have quite a few Hannah Carlson books. I don't think I have the two newest ones, but yes, I do. I showed them. I've shown them. Have you ever gone to my playlist, Ellen? Have you gone to my color book playlist? You'll see me coloring in them. Hubsters like those people that go to coffee shops and just drink coffee. He's not a coffee shop person, really, Arlene. He's not a coffee shop person. Hubster works in HR. By the time he gets home after dealing with people, he needs to de-people. He does on his time off, he doesn't want to go people. You know what I mean? We go to the bookstore. My chair just will not roll. I don't know what the deal is here. There we go. Hung up on the carpet thing there. I have a rug under my table here so that the carpet doesn't get messed up. There's a protective rug. But anyway, we'll go to the bookstore and he'll get him a pumpkin spice or something. But he's not one to sit and read in a place. Yeah. Let's see. And I'm not a window shopper. When I go shopping, I know what I want. I go look for it, get it, and leave. I'm not a window shopper. And that's one of the things about Denise, if she's not here yet. Denise, where she lives, she's out in the diddle-wall ditty sticks. And so when she comes down, she goes, let's go do this. Let's go do that. Oh, Denise. Oh, no. Because she goes, I can't go anywhere. I don't have, I have nowhere to go up there. Okay, let's go. But I am not a window shopper. I never have been, except I do like to browse my bookstore. I will browse a bookstore all day, but I don't consider that window shopping. But books I will browse all day long. Even art supply stores. I kind of know what I want when I go to them. I want the paper section. I want this, I know what I want and I go check it out, but I'm not a window shopper. Let's see. Oh, thanks, Kat. Kat put in Tina Sweden's, and that's what I call her because she's in Sweden. But Tina Art 64. There's her IG. Thank you, Kat. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's so true, Arlene. It is so true. Oh my gosh, it's so funny when Cameron we were FaceTiming when he was in Pals. You could almost see his he was in in book world, He was like, okay, well, you want to see anything? I go, no, you go shop, go look. And of course he has to fly different places. And so he can't buy a whole bunch of books. He goes, do you want anything? I don't know, give me a brochure or something, You don't need to buy me any books that you have to haul around all the way across the United States. Let's see. Lisa, good morning. Oh, you're welcome. Let's see what she said. Doing another one with the things I got. Okay. Do you need some more stuff, Tina? Do you want some? Did you get any of the fall? Did you get any of this stuff? Hang on. Let me get where did I put it now? Hang on. Oh, my pants are under my leg. Did you get any of this, Tina? If I can find it here. Where did it go? Did you get any of this stuff? The fall ephemera, Tina, in Sweden? You're in Sweden. I'll send you some of this. Let me make a note to send you some more of this. Although by the time you get it, fall's probably going to be over. But I'll send you some of this, Tina, with a couple more craft cardstock. So, okay, let me set that over here. All right, let's see. Scrolling. Shelly, hi Shelly. I know I'm probably missing people. I don't try to put it in caps. Riri sends me the oddest books. I mean, I love them. And the bookstore accidentally sent that other one last week. But she said I did post the book she sent me on my book post. I post a book every week or sometimes two on the post tab. You can't see it right now on YouTube. You have to go to my main page and then you'll see, live shorts, post, and that's where I post a book every week. So let's see. A huge bookstore. You know what? I think I've been to that bookstore, Tina, maybe 20 years ago. Is it still there? I think I went to that bookstore on our way when we went down to the Dolly Museum. I think we might have went there. For some reason, I'm thinking that's the one. Let's see. Woman, yes, woman busted y'all out. Thanks, woman. Let's see. Angie, good morning. So how does Cindy? I'm trying to catch everybody. I think I've caught everybody so far. Put it in caps if you're talking to me, guys. All right, so I picked out these two books, the Timekeeper's Atlas Collage Soup and the Bougie Boo book. Now I've flipped through them. I'll just do a little, and I've worked out of them. They're all chopped up, especially this one. I've chopped them up, and that's why I keep them. After I work in them, I put them in these. After I've used them, because all the little bits and stuff that I've kept, it's all falling out and it's all going everywhere. So I keep them in these so that everything's contained. Okay, so the Timekeeper's Atlas and then Bougie Boo, which I was holding this one. I was going to use this. I don't think I used anything out of this on the pumpkin because I used the mermaid book. I used the Collage Soup mermaid book because I wanted a mermaid pumpkin this year. So I'm going to use this today. Let me flip it backwards here. And I've torn out a bunch of pages to use already. But so this is what the main book, these two books that we're going to use today in my art journal. So thanks, Kat. Kat put a link to the Timekeeper. So if you go on Collage Soup on Amazon, and of course you can buy digital. I don't think they have every book in digital, but digital downloads, but they have a lot. But I just buy the hard copies. And I feel like, if I run out of something, then it's time to use a different page. I usually only use an image once. So you see, I've already torn stuff out. But it's got a lot of stuff. And I pulled the stuff and I might have to pull some more, but I did pull the things that I'm going to use. I have an idea for him and her. They're going to be on the sides. They're going to be the main people. And what they're steampunk travelers, time travelers. And they're going to have a skeleton behind them because you don't know how old they are. You don't know where they've been. You don't even know if they're still alive. But they're going to each have a kind of a skull somewhere behind them. And then there's going to be some time elements. So I pulled different watches, clocks, and time elements. There's another one in here somewhere. Let's see, where is it? I thought there was another one. Maybe not. So I thought there was another page. I might have to find some more watches. But anyway, so they're going to be time travelers, and they're looking in the background is going to be this Halloween scene with all this. Okay, that's kind of the vision I have, but that's as far as my vision goes. It's just kind of a theme, what's kind of going on story. Now I got to put the story together. So that's what I'm going to do here. But first, before we do that, bam! Let's pull prompts. So let me get this thing here. Kat, you are on it this morning. So Yeah, that eyeball. Yeah. So I thought that that could be like maybe back in here, Arlene, and then the two people on the side, and then all the Halloween stuff going on. Like they've traveled in time and they're seeing that stuff. What they're thinking about it is up to you. Okay, so today is the 27th. Can you believe it's already the end of October? I cannot believe that my Inktober is almost over again. This is 10th year. I'm pretty sure. I think I started in 2015, so 15 to 25. Does that make it 11 years or 10? Anyway, so let's pick 5 prompts and y'all can do them or not, but write them down and put them in your Society of Idea Collector notebook. And that a Society of Idea Collector notebook can be a 3-ring binder, it can be a composition book, it can be an art journal, it can be a traveler's notebook, it can be anything you want, but you need a place to write your ideas down. Thank you, Tina. Yeah. All right, here we go. Let's pick some prompts, especially for Terry. She does them all pretty much every week. Okay, let's see. Peach. I'm not going to do a free for all, a blank. Seal, and that could be like a wax seal or it could be a beach seal. It could be anything. Contempt, any comic character, and violin. So we have peach, seal, contempt, any comic character, and violin. So there we go. There's our this week's prompts. She does rock the prompts, doesn't she, Tina? And then, so I'll put this in my Society of Idea Collector notebook. I can just stick a Post-it in there. I don't have to make a big deal out of it. All right. And then we are up to Q in the Lollygag book that Cheshire Cat sent us. And these you can use as extra prompts or they're just fun. I just read them to y'all because they're fun. Terry's been kind of incorporating them into her prompts along with the prompts I just read. She'll incorporate something else in there, but she never has to. Hi, Molly. Let's see. Okay, so we are at Q. Quagmire. A musty, marshy, swampy area, but also any kind of sticky situation or predicament. Quandary, which is kind of the same thing, a state of doubt. People talk about being in a quandary when they have a difficult decision to make. That's it. That's all. Oh, wait here. Quixote, like Don Quixote. The word comes from the novel Don Quixote, in which a farmer fancies himself a knight and goes around attacking windmills. So that's and they're just trying to find some Q words, right? All right, so next week it's R. So we'll put this in here for R. There you go. I hope that is not too hard to figure something out, Terry, or anybody else that wants to do it. All right, let me put this back up here. All righty. So let's see what we can do. I think maybe I'll stay not too zoomed in while we do this part here. Let's brighten it up just a little. There we go. All right, let's see what we can do with these. Okay, and I'll glue, and then I'm going to have to cut and glue, and then we'll paint it all in like we usually do. Let me see here. Let me move this up and down a little bit. There we go. You'll do your best. I know you will. You always do, Terry. So is there anything else I need to show on Instagram or anything? Tina, have you colored anything this week? See what I can find on Instagram. Let's see what comes up. Let's see. Tina. Catacomic 64. Oh, she did do this. Well, this was 3 days ago, so I know I probably hadn't shown it to you. But she's been working in Kirby Roseanne's Dark Fairy Tales, and this was this is the Wizard of Oz. They're going after the lion. So it's Dark Fairy Tales, people. Dark Fairy Tales. But Catacomic 64 is our Tina, the mod Tina that's here. So y'all know which Tina. And then before that, she had done The Beauty of Horror. I think I did show this one last week. The tree. So she's been working in the Halloween books. So let's see. Yeah, the Wizard of Oz one. Yeah. Okay, let's see what we can do here. I think I might do a little fussy cutting around these two because I'm going to have her off to this side and half of him on this side. And they're going to be peeking in at the scene. So I've got to cut them out here real quick. So let's just kind of... So if y'all have any questions, comments, or anything, just go ahead and put it in caps. I'll see it right now. I can cut and read. Hopefully Denise will pop in. I haven't seen. I'm not sure if Janet's going to. I think that's going to get cut off. I haven't seen if Janet's streaming today, or if so, what she's streaming. So, see, this is. I'll save a little bit of this kind of stuff in my big pink box over there. But when that box is full, that's it. You know, it's got to be weeded out. I don't keep a lot of that kind of stuff. Now, if I had cut this out and there's a big pumpkin there or something, this would just go back in the book, right? But this, like something like this won't go back in the book. This will just go in the scrap pile. So let's see here. Let's go ahead and cut this like a little castle thing is in her hair. It could be some kind of diamonds or who knows, you know. I'm not sure I'm going to love the butterfly. We'll see if we keep that. Jen is streaming obnoxiousness. That's what she's streaming, obnoxiousness. Yes, walking and chewing bubblegum, Beth. Exactly. All right, let's some kind. I don't know if this is kind of. It looks like it has a moth head, but it's looks like butterfly wings. But we'll just kind of trim this down here. And again, a lot of it gets covered up and cut out, torn out, painted over. We'll see. I don't know where we're going with it, other than what I told y'all. So. Did y'all do anything else over the weekend productive? Anything fun, creative that y'all want to share, talk about? Put it in caps. Let's see, I'll cut some of that lace down there. Okay. Again, this is, well, there's some bats, but I'll put this in the pink box. All right, so she's going to be, you know, half gone, because I want, you know, the room for other things. And he's he's only going to be half there. So let me just see where I want him. I want to cut him in half. Let's just see here. Maybe a little more than half. Okay. Now this will go back in the book. I'll put this back in the book. All right. All right, let's trim him down. She's going to be half the woman she used to be. Yes. Okay, this kind of looks like a funky collar. We'll leave that on there. And we're going to leave the steampunk. I have a steampunk book. I didn't pick a whole bunch of steampunk stuff out because I really wanted to concentrate on the Bougie Boo. And just, this is kind of the side You know, they're just kind of peeking in on that world, if you will. I don't want that on there. Let's see, let's cut that off. We could always put, you know, some stickles or something on it. I don't want to get it too, what do you call it? This will go in the pink box. I don't want to get it too dimensional because this book, you know, is hard to work if you got something on the other side that's dimensional. Oh, I got to flip through the book too. All right, so let's see. That's going to fit pretty much right in there. And she's going to fit pretty much right there. So let's just make a crease here. Do I want her ear though? Maybe I want her in just a little bit. Let's bring her in so I don't cut her ear off. All right. We know what happens then. All right, there we go. And right about here, I think. Let's see if that's good. All right, she's going to come down. And anything left over, hanging over, anything, I can trim after it's glued. All right, so there's her. She needs a little bit of trim right here on her face. There we go. So she'll go here. He'll go there. All right, now let's see. Let's get the brightness turned down just a little. There we go. Okay, Ellen, good. There's lots of stuff over there. I'm telling you, there's some hundreds of books on coloring over there. All right, now let's see. I don't really want all their bodies, so I'm going to get rid of the ribs and probably maybe some more. But I want to cut this in half because I want one on each side. One for him and one for her. Just kind of peeking out somewhat. How? I'm not sure how yet. And some of this either be hidden, painted in, painted out. I don't know yet. Okay. Save that, trash this. All right. I forgot to ask Annie if she's dressing up for Halloween this year. She always dresses up really good, very inventive things. One year she was an entomologist and she went with a lab coat with bugs all over it. She's real creative when it comes to stuff like that, and she's a great cook and can cook up all kinds of cool dishes. All right, we'll save that in the. All right, so let's see here. See, I just kind of want to. It's probably gonna have to be over the top of her dress there. That steampunk could be right there. That wheel, or some other things could be in there too. Or I could bring it down here. I think right there. There we go. Like that. I'm going to trim this coat down just a little. It's kind of covering up too much there. There we go. All right. Hi, Mark. Speaking of cooking, I made meatloaf for the first. You made meatloaf for the first time? Hubster loves it. That's one of the things that I cook that he does like. He likes my meatloaf. I don't know if we can get that over the top of his. Let's see. Let's trim this down. Maybe you can tuck that in, but have that. There we go. That's better. Like that. Right to the edge of his jacket. And this can be cut off right. There. Okay. There we go. That's better. He loves my meatloaf. I'm not sure what Riri's laughing. I was thinking the same thing, but I'm not sure what you were thinking about, Riri. All right, let's see now. Now I probably want, I'm not sure which, I picked like 4 haunted houses to use. I kind of like this kind of scene because it's kind of complete. If this was back here, but I like the colors in this. But this is more Halloweeny, I think. So if I put this, not the whole sheet, I'm just going to kind of pick and choose some of that. And then I'll take some of these pumpkins off of here. So let's just trim those out with the big scissors. Oh, that's what you were thinking, Riri? The first time you made meatloaf? All right, so I'm going to cut out just a bunch of these little pumpkins and little things because I'm not sure where they're going yet or anything like that, but I'll have them at the ready if we need them. All right, there's this one here. And then I'll put this back in the book. Let's see, here's more pumpkins if I need them. Maybe I'll cut a couple of these because they're a little brighter orange. I'm kind of thinking of the colors too. Won't need this many though. All right, let's pick these right here. Then I got some bats. I've been wanting to use these bats. I think these bats are so cute. They're creepy cute, but I think they're very cute. We'll have to have at least 1 or 2 in there. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut around them. And we'll see which ones we use. I just look at those little toenails. Okay, so we'll see. If I don't use them all, I'll put them in one of my other journals because they're cute. Okay, this goes in the pink box. I got 2 piles over there. This goes back in the book. The other goes in the pink box. Okay. All right, where's that eyeball? Let me do it. Oh, there it is. Okay, so let's see here. I think I'm going to cut the lashes off. If I want lashes on it, I'll put them back on. And then maybe another piece of, just a little piece of steampunk here. Let's just see. You never know what we're going to need. Okay, there's a piece of steampunk. And then I don't think I need anything else on this. And I got this if we need any filler background. So let's just go ahead and cut this down. I particularly like this one right here. If we need anything in the background behind their heads or something. So we'll put that right in there. Okay, back over here to this. I need this big purple. I want this big purple watch. That's going to be a main focal point. And let's see, here's another little couple watches right here. Another one here. One here. And let's go ahead and take this gear. Okay, that's good. All right. Are y'all bored yet watching me cut, are you? Hi, Joe Lou. Hi, Raul. Denise might pop in after a while. She'll go, Raul. Don't forget, Raul is hosting the um, New Year Streamathon on the end of December into first January 1st. He's done it the last couple years now, and so if you're interested in being a part of the Streamathon, it's like 24 hours. Let Raul know that you're interested and he'll add you to the lineup. Okay. If he's got any spaces left, I don't know. But I'm just going to cut these out real quick. I try to do in this book, I try to do things that are happening, you know, like I did one on, what do you call it? The time change. And here it's almost time for the time change again. Next Sunday, this coming Sunday, well, Saturday night into Sunday is Fall Back, an hour. All right, so let's see. I'm going to have to cut me out a couple of these bats. Let's get a full one here. Hi, CB. Kathy Berg, are you streaming tomorrow? I don't want to mess up those little toenails. We can have to paint around those little toenails. I don't want to mess them up. Okay, Kathy Berg, let me click on her. So Kathy streams at 10 Eastern on Tuesdays. So y'all follow Kathy Berg. She's always got a fun stream too. She does tons of mixed media. Art journaling. She missed a week or maybe two because she had some appointments and stuff. But she showed one of her book collection. Like we collect things. I don't know. It's not really the Society of Idea Collector notebook. It's just notebooks of stuff that she had a Halloween fall one that I loved. She showed that here a week or two ago. Let's see. Oh, y'all changed me? You changed me. Me said we changed time yesterday. Okay, so in the UK, y'all changed? Inspiration binder. Thank you, Kathy. Inspiration binders. I haven't pulled out an inspiration binder in a while. I haven't worked in them for a while either. Let's see. So yeah, Tina in Sweden said they already did their time change. So are y'all until this coming week? You're only 4 hours ahead of us until this weekend. Then it goes back again to 5. Is that correct? No, that makes it 6 hours. Y'all are 6 hours. You're 6 hours ahead of us now, right? Until this coming weekend. Yeah, I should pull out an inspiration. I don't have an inspiration themed like fall, Halloween. I don't have binders specifically. I have my little traveler's books on themes, but my big inspiration binders, they're more other stuff like inside, houses and decor and that kind of stuff. All right, there's our little bat, and he'll probably be hanging upside down somewhere. All right, so there's him. Some steampunk and watches. And I won't cut any more bats or pumpkin. I'll cut one pumpkin until I know that I'm going to need them. Because y'all are probably getting tired of seeing me just sit here and cut. But, it's hard to plan ahead because I don't know what I'm going to need until I start gluing things down. Okay, there we go. We got some stuff. There. All right. And then this, I'm going to go ahead and go with this instead of this. So we'll put this aside. You got to just kind of select. At some point, you just got to pick, and you can always go back in your book if you need more stuff. But at some point, you got to just narrow it down and go, this is what I'm going to use. So, oh, thanks, Ellen. Terry, number 4, you usually start one. Oh, 4. 4 hours? Oh, I'm not sure if Terry's talking to me or somebody else. All right, let's see. Let's go here. Let's move this stuff over here. Let's move her down here. And all right, so now I'm just going to slide. All right, let me move my books here. I got to have a little bit more space. Let's move him over here. And her, let's just go ahead and move her over there too, because I want him out of the way for a minute. So I can stay in here. All right, we got this watch. Now I got to decide what I want in here. And I can tear it and then put stuff back together. Well, you know what? Let's put her back. Let's do one side. I'm going to have to kind of know how much I got to figure out here. All right. So I'm going to want her this right in here. Okay. That way I can have some of the bat up there and the moon. Okay. Then, well, I guess I will have to bring this back in here because I'm not sure how much I am going to have to get some more stuff out. All right, let's go ahead and tear this. So I don't want it just this. I want it other stuff too. So let's go ahead and tear this moon down here. And I don't want 2 moons. So let's go ahead and tear that out. All right, so there's that for a start. And then on this side, have a house down there. Maybe this right here, and we'll paint in there. Let's see. A little more house in there. All right, I guess I will have to get some more house out. Let's see. Which might end up all being covered up anyway, but I'm going to pull it. I need a little bit of this. I want some of this creepy tree here. Maybe some of those bats. And maybe that girl right there. That's good. All right, so let's do this. Let's do that. I'll probably just take a picture of it so I can kind of get it back kind of like I want. Although it never comes out exactly like the same, when you put it back. All right, let's see. I like maybe a little bit of this. And if you tear any place you're going to paint, if it's torn, it will blend better than a cut edge. All right, I think I'm going to go with this. There we go. I think that'll work. All right, so before I do anything, I think I'll just get a piece of card to put this. Then I can just move it over and then move it back over here. And then the eye is going to go in here somewhere. Maybe just peeking out here. Oh, maybe I can use the eye over here. And then time traveler. That. And then I had that other little purple. There was another little piece of, here it is. This right here. Okay, I'm liking that. And then the pumpkins and the bat, they're going to be in here somehow. But there'll be like additions, okay? All right, so there we go. What do y'all think? How's that looking? Then we paint it all in, of course. All right, now let me get a couple pieces of cardstock here. Now let's move this out of the way. I don't think we're going to need that. Just getting organized. Sip of lemon water. No. He's no, Jolu. He's already finished his 6-month contract, and he and his friends hit the road. They're doing a cross country all the way back to Atlanta. They flew to Portland, flew to Salt Lake, and then from there they're driving on and meeting up with more people, and they're driving. They're doing a cross country thing. Yeah. So no. Let's see what else. To Jolu, let's take that. Can you take that to somewhere else? We're not going to talk about that here, if you don't mind. Thank you. Let's see. I need 2 pieces of paper put together. Thank you. All right, so I'm going to take 2 pieces of cardstock that I use these in some other scrapbook project or something, and I'm just going to tape them together so I can move all this over here. So let's do that. Let's see. I get some tape. Tape this together. Trust me, Jolu, I know all about it. I probably keep up with the news probably more than 90% of the people I know. So, but we just don't do it here. This is kind of a place to get away from politics and all the hate and everything, you know. It's just this is our happy space. So, all right, let's see. Let's move this over here. Let's move this. I just taped that down just to shuffle it over to the side here. So I can kind of keep it where it is. Sort of, kind of. All right, let's see if I can do this. Like that. That. And like this. And then the eyes in there somewhere. Okay, so this is, you know, I got it kind of laid out sort of like it's going to be. Just so I can, because you have to put down the matte medium. All right, so let's go ahead and do this. Then I need some wax. Let me get some fresh wax paper. My matte medium, which I use my golden matte medium. It's getting low, Janet. No, I'm not saying, I'm not hinting at anything, Janet. Janet gives me that for my birthday, February. All right, so let's go through. Let's put some wax paper so you don't glue your pages together, okay? And then we'll just kind of fold it down. Just so we're not gluing our pages together. Let's move our little back over there. Once I get the edges and everything done, I can remove this, but I don't want to glue or paint our pages shut. There we go. Hi, Robin. Okay. I've seen too many kerfuffles over all the issues in different channels and art channels, and then half the people in the art channel are one side, half the art people in the other, and it's just crazy. So if we don't talk about it here, go talk about. I mean, I'll talk about it on Facebook or any place else, but just not here. That's been my rule here for 15 years. So yeah. I see too much hate, too much, and people that say, "Oh, we don't talk about it here," and then they hate on each other, and we're just not going to do it. So art channels, get a grip. Okay, let's see. Let's pour out some matte medium. Oh wait, is that paint? No, I'll make sure it's not any paint, because if it's acrylic paint, it's okay. But if it's any other kind of paint, we'll be lifting it. We'll be lifting it up. Okay, there we go. Now let's get if you, whatever brush you're using, get it wet first before you dip it in the glue or paint. That way it's less likely to, get all in there and ruin your brush when you go to wash it. Okay, let's see. Am I missing anybody coming in? Yes, Kathy Berg. All right, so I'll start over here on her side, and let's just go ahead. And I do put down the matte medium. I do put it down pretty generous because that way you can mash it if you have enough in here if you have enough to mash. You'll see what I'm saying. All right, so now I'm over here looking at what I've got first. First, let me see. I'm going to go ahead and put her. I'm just going to hold her. Let's see. This can go next. Okay, so this big piece here. Then I put it on the back. And then I put it over the top. And then we mash it down. Let's see here. Make sure you got plenty. Because otherwise, when you go to mash it, it's not going to mash out the wrinkles. Okay, let me get some baby wipes for my hands. Oh, got a card somewhere here. Do I have one handy? Here's one. Just take a card, mash it out, and you have to do this or you'll have wrinkles. Maybe you don't care. Some people don't care if they have wrinkles and bubbles. I don't want wrinkles and bubbles. All right. All right, now that's mashed down really well. Now I'm going to add some more for the girl. Okay, so let's see how she's going to lay this down here. I want to put it right where it's going to be. And let's kind of tack him down. Just so he's kind of where I want him to be. Probably right about there. Okay, now I'm going to turn her over. Let's tack him down. All right. Make sure this is nice and wet here, and then we'll put her down. It doesn't have to be right to the edge because I do paint around it. And then that one little watch, this little piece right here, I wanted right up here. Because I'll put watch hands over that. Okay. We'll mash this out. If you start getting a lot on there, just wipe it off of there on the tray. I just use coffee lids for my paint and matte medium for the most part. You've seen my big paint trays too, but these are easy to use on stream. I can shuffle them around. Okay, there we go. Let's see. Make sure. And these images are pretty good if you buy them printed. They're not going to, when you smash it down, it's not going to take up the ink or tear them very easily, except for fashion magazines. Fashion magazines, they will rip and tear and pick up the ink a lot easier because they're so thin. That's why they're so cheap, mostly. But if you buy the ones like this, you're able to kind of mash them out. Now, can you do this with digitals? Yes, but it's also going to depend on your printer. Okay, and let me get the matte medium off my keyboard there. It's going to depend on your printer. Now, my Eco printer, the ink and that, I can do this with. But I can't say that you could do that with every printer. So before you go and invest in a whole bunch of printouts, digital printouts, check your printer. Just print something out and try to matte medium over it or scrape it and see what happens. Because you don't want to spend, the price of a book downloading something and then you can't do anything with it because it's going to lift the ink. You can sometimes spray it like with a fixative and then do some stuff, but you got to practice and test Okay, you got to practice until she has my big paint tray, Tina. Here, I keep it under my table here. This one, yeah. This is my big tray that when I don't have to keep everything in camera focus, in camera. Okay, there we go. So test it though. All right, so now let's see. Let's go ahead and I think I want to let me just bring him over here and kind of see what's next. How far in do I want this? Okay, I want this in about right there and this in here. So this is going to go right in there. So let's put this down first. Right about there. Okay. And then this one's going right over here. Maybe a little, let's see. Do I want this over a little bit more? Probably. Let's just do that. I can always fill in. All right, let's see. Oh no, it's all right, Jolu. Don't worry about it. I know. Well, we talk about postal strikes because we want to know when we can send Happy Mail. We're not trying to. Well, if you want to leave, that's okay. I understand, but we're not fussing at you. I just have that rule. I've had that rule for 15 years, and I think people that in the art community, especially if you have art business and you're selling art and art products, and you disenfranchise half of your buying audience, that's not probably very good, But I didn't mean to offend you either, but I do have my rules, so okay. Let's put this right here. And if you put something over the crack here, by opening and closing your book, it will eventually wear right there in the seam. Sometimes you might want to just cut it and then try to get it as close to the center as you can without making it tear. All right, let's see. Arlene said, I found an antique glass plate from my great grandma. Didn't want to get rid of it. So it's your paint palette. Oh, awesome. That's a great idea. All right, let's see. Let's go ahead and put our guide down over here. And then I think I want my eye next because he's going to kind of be over that, isn't he? No. This is going to go over here. Let's go ahead and put this down. All right, let's put that right there. And again, I'm going to just kind of crease it, but eventually that will probably wear and tear. All right. Is Denise here? Hi, Denise. Good to see you. So let's see. We're just collaging down our time travelers going into the Halloween world, Denise. All right, so this is going to have to go in here. So let's go ahead and put that down. Right up under that eye right there. And then he's going to be, what did I say? Right about, let me kind of adjust him again. Where did I want him? Like this? No, I want that. Kind of like that. All right, so let's go ahead and kind of tack him down right there. Okay, now let me turn him over. I'll do it over here. And then we'll get out the paint and start painting everything in. Then we'll probably I'll get some postcard craft color, because maybe black. That's what we'll cut up some black. We'll cut up some black postcard, cardstock to make postcards for giveaway. All right, let's see. And some of this Halloween ephemera out of Collage Soup. All right, let's see here. Come on. Let's lay down there. Let's figure out where we want our bat and our pumpkin. But I don't see this political. Okay, that's all right, Jo Lou. And not everybody does. It's just, it leads to it. You know what I mean? It leads to it. So don't go, but don't leave. Stick around. We don't want you to leave. All right, let's see. There we go. That right there is, well, that's a little tree back there. Might have to paint that in. We'll see. All right, let's make sure there's no lumps and bumps and wrinkles. All right, we got the bulk of it down there. Thank you, Arlene. Thank you, Denise. I wish you were here. Denise, I don't know if you saw. Oh, I forgot I got this. Where was I going to put this? Down here, wasn't I? I think I was going to put this down here. But I don't really want it right under the eye, but maybe that'll be an effect. You know, it's like, I don't usually like to line things up. Maybe I could just put it right in the middle. No, it's going to have to go down here. Let's cut it down. Denise, I got some, they're called scrapbook. And Janet got one too. They're called scrapbook kits, but I'm using them in art journaling. Oh my gosh. I wish you were here when I opened them up and you could play with them. I mean, I put them in these sleeves, I put them in here. So but they come with a journal and they come with all kinds of stuff. If we get time, I'll go back through them if you're still here. Okay, let's see. Hi, Judy O. It's National Mentor Day. Okay, I didn't even know there was such a thing. Aw, thank you, Judy. I appreciate that. We try. We all mentor each other. You know what I mean? We're all helping each other all the time. Thank you so much, Judy. Denise wants to see the stuff. Okay, here we go. There you go, Denise. Kat put a link. There's all kinds of them. There's probably about 20 different ones. Some have books and some don't. Here, let me show you this real quick, Denise. Here's one of the books that came in one of the kits. And I only did one page. Where's the page I did? Did this page a couple weeks ago. Isn't it cute? So we did this one a couple weeks ago. Let's see. Okay, so now let's see if we want what we want to fill in with what. And let's see. All right, let me move this pieces of cardstock off the table. And let's see what we can do here before we. Oh, thanks, Tina. Thanks, Denise. Thanks, Kathy Bird. Kathy Bird, didn't you get you one of those kits? Or you had some of those kits? Come on, girl. You can fess up. We know. All right. So I love this bat. But I don't want him in the crack. This is it's going to eventually tear. You know what I mean? So he needs to be, maybe he could be hanging off the eye. His little wing can be there. I don't mind if his little wing goes over there. It could be right in there. What do you think? Is that too creepy, guys? Here's another the steampunk thing. We'll just put that right here. A little wheel, a little gear. I'm thinking about this now. I'm kind of thinking. What do y'all think? Is it too creepy? Don't crack your bat. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's see. So I got more bats, more gears here. We can maybe put that. That's a good filler right there. So let's see. Let's put that in there. This little gear right here. Remember, so my situation that I thought this was going on. Oh, let's move that down a little. Here was that these two time travelers are peeking in on this Halloween world. And they have these skulls by them now. Does that mean they're alive? They're dead? Or are they from the past and they're coming to the future? And so that's, they're not really there. It could be a lot of things. Y'all can use your imagination. All right. So do I want a pumpkin up here? That's getting too, I want this to be a world, not just, this would have to come down here. I do want the pumpkin, but it's going to probably have to be down here on her. And then he'd have to have a little one or something over here. Maybe one here, a little on the side here. Let's cut this one out. And I'm not really one to do a lot of asymmetrical. So when things get too lined up, it bothers me. But, all right, we'll put that on the edge there. And then we'll get out the paint. And then also, the other reason I got my 240, I think it was 240 acrylic paint markers, was because I want to paint details in this without having to get out, there we go. Without having to get out a whole bunch of little dabs of paint, I can just pull a paint pen. So that's why I got all those acrylic paint pens. I know, it's just an excuse, right? I do like him there, so I just have to either paint in there or find something else. All right, let's see. I think I want a smaller pumpkin down here. I don't want this big one. I don't know. That's a little too much. Well, don't you think the little one would be better? Well, maybe not. It's kind of almost the size of that head, though. Let's cut this one out. Y'all tell me which one you think, the smaller one or the bigger one. Okay, so which one? This one or that one? I guess it does need the bigger one. Okay, never mind. Can put it over him. All right, let's just put it down there. All righty. There we go. Hi, Pam. Pam, aren't you on the road looking for a house? Aren't you on the road looking for a house, girl? I think I saw Messy Di say that. Or maybe saw you last week saying that. Okay. Thanks for stopping in. Let's see. On the West Coast, it's 7. Well, maybe you just hadn't got out yet. Right? Yeah, it does, Ellen. It does balance the one on the left. It does. Plus this right here, this is getting a little lined up, but that's okay. All right. So let's see. So yeah, I think I want the one bat right there. Do I want any more bats? I got a couple bats. Maybe the bigger bat. Oh, wait. We might need the big bat. We might need the bigger bat. Look how much bigger he is in that one. Let's see. See if I can get this wing kind of curt because there's a little bit of it cut off. There we go. Kathy Berg and I she had mentioned us getting together on her stream and doing a Halloween, not altered book, abandoned book. We did one year for a Christmas. That was fun. And she'd mentioned something about us doing one for Halloween. I don't know if we're going to get to that now, are we, Kathy? It's already the 27th. Can you believe that? Yeah. All right. I don't want to cut his little toes, but All right. Let's see here. Let's go this way with it. Got a little hook on that wing. I don't want to lose, although it's probably going to get lost in the picture. Wait, what? Wait. What, Tina? Wait, what? Let's see here. Let's see. Ginger, so we're in Oregon, just woke up. It's still dark. Looking at different cities right now. Okay. And move in February or March. Okay. Kathy goes, do you want to tomorrow? I don't know if you're a bit, I don't know if I can tomorrow. And Thursday, Hubster and I have something we have to do. So probably not going to be able to this week, Kathy. Yeah. So maybe we'll have to plan for Christmas again. Right? Might have to plan a Christmas one again. I don't remember do you remember which book it was? The Castle book? I can pull the book and show what we did it was 2 years ago, wasn't it? It could have been 3 by now. Okay, that's better, I think. I think that's better. But again, I don't want his wing can be right there, but I don't want his little body to be cut in half there. All right, let's see. Right about there, I think. There we go. Alrighty. He's kind of nondescript in there, but it's okay. We know he's there. We know he's there. All right, let's see. Let me look at chat. Oh, wait. Oh, okay, Tina. I see. I got it. Because I said, wait about the bat. Yeah. You'll find it. Okay, Kathy. I'm not sure which book mine was in, or I'd get up there and get it down. Maybe by Wednesday I could find it and show it. But I don't know. I don't remember which book it's in. I got, 18 books up there. I'm not sure which one we did that in. Do you remember which one it was in? Was it Abandoned Castles? Do you remember which one it was in, Kathy? All right, let's see. All right, I think let's move this over here. There's some of these little scraps. Don't want to lose this bat because I really like this bat. I like this bat. Look, it goes right over her eyebrows. What do y'all think? But she's not supposed to be really part of the scene. They're supposed to be looking in the scene. If I put this on here, it's going to look like she's part of the scene. CB. It was Abandoned Castles, page 86. Okay, I don't know if I can get up there. I'd have to climb up on my table. I don't want to do that right this minute. Let me let me make a note. Abandoned castles. Christmas with Kathy. It was Kathy and Colleen. I think it might have been 3 years ago. Put it up by the eyeball. Well, we'd already got one there. No, we'll just use the one bat. All right. Okay, let's see. Now we can start drawing and gluing. I mean, painting. All right. Hi, Tex. Anybody else coming in I missed? Ginger Cat Lady's laughing at CV. Hi, Kimberly. Okay, so let me go ahead and wipe down the brush here. I think we might be done with the gluing. And then I'll move this and get rid of the card. I got tons of those. And now I got the excess glue off of this, so I can put that in the water. Okay, now, let's see. Of course, matte medium does not come off your hands until you take fingernail polish remover to them. It is crusty there, but yeah. All right, let's see. Let's put that over there. Let me get a sip of lemon water. Okay. All right. I don't want to remove the plastic yet because we're going to paint. Well, I think if I'm going to take it out of the wax paper, and then I'll just put a clean edge, a little piece when I go to paint on each edge, because this is all gluey, and so I need to take it off. You know what I mean? So let's just keep a piece on each side that I can tuck when I paint. Oh, what's this? Oh, that was some pumpkins, random pumpkin stickers there. This is some trash. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and dry this with the heat tool. We might take a break and do a giveaway. I gotta cut some black cardstock down to postcard size. All right, and then we'll probably zoom in. We'll have to zoom in when we start painting details. I just sent you. Oh, okay. All right. Let me go over on IG. Kathy sent me a picture of her page. Okay, let's see. Okay, I remember now. Okay, I can't turn it sideways. Wait a minute. Let's see. Let me take a picture and then I can go to my photos. And so I hopefully can turn it sideways so you can see it better. And y'all can go to Kathy Berg and follow her over there too to see all her stuff. Let's see, photos. Kathy, let's crop this down. Crop. And it's in the Abandoned Castle book. Let's brighten it up just a tad. There we go. All right, turn it sideways. There we go. Come on. Hang on. And I still got Tori too. Tori comes in. I want to show her animation. Let's see. All right, hang on. Photos. Come on. There we go. All right, here we go. All right. There we go. So this is Kathy's from the Abandoned Castle book. And I did Santas. She did bear. We did all kinds of funny things. But we used the Abandoned Castle as our backdrop. She's got some reindeer up there. There's a elf on a reindeer. So this was Kathy's altered page from the Abandoned Castle book. I don't know if I can reach mine. I don't know if I could reach mine without climbing on the table. Let me see. Let me get the chair. Hang on. I can't promise I can reach it. It's up. I moved all my abandoned books up on the shelf up here because I don't use them that much. Let's see. Maybe I could just stand on the. Hang on. I can probably stand on my chair without putting my foot up on the table where y'all can see it. All right, hang on. All right, hang on. All right. I'm up on my chair. Just a minute. Now let me lean in. Lean in, Abandoned Castles. Great. I got a couple copies. I'm not sure which one it's in. Is it this one? All right, I'm going to put my foot up here, and hopefully y'all can't see it. So I got to balance myself. There we go. I'm pretty sure it's this one. Okay. Down. There we go. All right, let me move this to the side. Let's see. And people have been asking me, including Ellen, to work some more in my abandoned books. Let's see here. I can find. I can take these out. I have these in here because that way when I go to show the non-finished, one that's not worked on, then I can get right to it. Christmas. Hang on. Here it is. I think didn't we do 2 pages? Did I do 2 pages, Kathy? Didn't I do something with the car going up the hill, or is that a different day and a different project? I thought I had something with the car and a castle. All these Post-it notes are bugging me. I thought we had another something, but I'm not seeing it. So this is the one that we did together. Oh my goodness. So yeah, all my reindeer got eaten by the bears, the gnomes. The bears got them. Santa's going, oh my gosh, I gotta hide from these bears. Put a bow on the top there, and then we put all the snow and the whatever. We got there's one of Santa's arms. Maybe one of the bear got his arm over there. But we had so much. We laughed so hard. Oh, there's Santa's in the chimney too. We laughed so hard doing this, didn't we, Kathy? You forgot about the polar bear eating everything. Oh, but anyway. Okay, so let's see here. What was I going to show y'all? Oh, that was what I was going to say. Okay, and then if we see Tori, I'll show y'all Tori's animation. Let's see. What else here? You need to try it, Debbie. Yeah. Hi, Yvonne. Anybody? Let's see who else. Am I missing anybody? I said hi to Angie. Hi, Jane. And Jane, bless her heart, she did a video. She worked in one of the Asian books that we love the book, and it's a very expensive book, and I have it. She does too. And she was working in it. She was going to try to do some masking fluid, and she knocked the masking fluid all over swiped a big chunk out of hers on our book, and she let it dry. So she did a video. Y'all go to look at that later. Not right now, but anyway, she did a save. She did a color book save video. All right, let me dry this, and then we'll go ahead and do a giveaway. All right, here, let me get my heat tool here. All right. Hi, Val. Hi, Shelly. Let's see if I'm missing anybody. Golden. It's just Golden Mat Meeting. This is what it is. It's fluid. It's not the thick, pasty kind. But it doesn't have the word fluid in the title of it. You saw it, Kat, where she fixed it? Okay, I think that's pretty good because I'm going to stop anyway and do. I still have, you know what? I still have some of these orange ones left from last week. So we'll do black and orange, the typical Halloween colors. And we'll do a giveaway with that. But let me do a BRB real quick and try to get some of this off my hands. Where's my. All right, BRB. Let me put my matte medium up here and then close the door in case the cats decide to saunter in. All right. Yeah. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, I got a bulk of it off, but it's still crusty until you take some fingernail polish remover. All right, let's see. Joyce, who else am I missing? I saw Shelly, Belinda. Okay, let's go ahead. I think I got enough off of my hands so that it's not getting. See, look, can y'all see? It looks like your fingers are peeling, and the matte medium just doesn't come off without really fingernail polish remover. Okay, let's see. Let me get some black cardstock up here. Alrighty. All right, who's dinging me? Sitting. Denise. No, she wouldn't be dinging me, I don't think. No, I don't know. It's dinging me. All right. You still here, Denise? All right, let's cut down some. Let's cut down some black cardstock. Tina. All right, we'll do 2 sheets at a time, 2 pieces at a time. And we'll do 4 by 6. So we'll cut this in half and then do some 4. So that's postcard size. All right. You are? Okay. Did you see the book? Did you see the inside of the book that I showed you that I got with the kit? I went down a collage book rabbit hole. I know, right? They're called scrapbooking kits. But to me, they're more art journaling, you know? But you could use them anywhere, any place that you use ephemera, you know. Okay, there we go. That'll be enough. Couple for each person in the giveaway. I've got plenty here. All right, so then we'll do this and some of the orange ones from last week that we painted. Plus, all right, let me get my envelopes here. We do our usual 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 US, 2 international. Then we'll do some painting details. You love the Christmas one? It has washi stickers and washi tape in the kits. It sure does. I didn't get the Christmas one because I got the Tim Holtz Christmas stuff already, so I didn't really want to get the Christmas one of those because I got the Tim Holtz. Did you see my Tim Holtz Christmas stuff, Denise? You were here, weren't you, when we played with it, or were you? Yeah, I'll have to maybe pull that out too. Not right now because we're already getting on rabbit trail. Let's see, Kim S. First time here. Let's see, Kim. I heard many people say how much they enjoy it. Oh, thank you, Kim. Well, I'll go follow you. Everybody follow Kim S. Colors. And I'll go follow you later. Let's see. Make sure your chat is set to live. Yes. Thank you, Tina. When we're doing the giveaway, make sure that your chat is set to live or you won't see all the chat. Okay, you need to set it to live. It defaults to top chat. And that also goes for if you go watch a recording, it's on top chat. You're not seeing all the chat unless you click all messages or all chat, whichever one it says on your device. So, okay, so let's go ahead. Move this over here for a minute. All right, so I got 4 envelopes. Let me get my iPad. So when I type in go, let's see, I think we did it. I don't remember which one we did first last time. I guess it doesn't really matter here. I still have to put the kits together. I will do that. We'll do that here in a minute too. But I'm just going to go ahead and do the giveaway and then we'll put some stuff in the kits and then we'll move on to painting. Okay, so let's do USA only first. USA only, when I type in go, put in a number between 1 and 100. First 2 people closest, let me bring up random.org. First 2 people closest without going over will get a little collage postcard. And you can cut these down, cut them in half and make ATCs or whatever you want, or just use them as postcard size. All right, let's go over here to random.org. Here's our little window there, 1 to 100. Wait till I type in go. Yes, yeah, y'all don't talk a lot, especially on the US, because it's hard for people to keep. It's hard for the mods to keep track. If there's a whole bunch of conversation in between the numbers. So yeah, just put in your number. USA only. USA only. And then we'll do international. So what we're going to do, move this out of the way. All the other happy mail's been sent out. All right, so we'll give everybody 2 black cardstocks and an orange one. And these have been painted and, whatever you call it, stenciled and played with. All right, so that will do that. And then here's some plain ones. So I'll give y'all each 4. Okay, so 4 postcards. And then we'll dig out some collage suit ephemera that I'll cut out, but you'll have to fussy cut it out, okay? You'll have to fussy cut it out. All right, USA only. Get your number. I'm going to count down. Counting down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Don't dilly-dally, dawdle, or lollygag. 1. Okay, here we go. Let's pick a number. US only. First 2 people closest to 59 without going over. 59 without going over. And I'll do all the ephemera all at once when we do the after we do the other one. Okay, 59 without going over. Scrolling. Let's see what we got here. Sue Connor had 50. I'm trying to see anybody else that had in the 50s. It looks like Sue Connor got one of them because she had 50. Am I correct, y'all? Put them on. Sue Connor had 50. And then who's the next person? That's closest to 59 without going over. So let me go look in the 40s. Cindy Daly had 42. She got it before Dawn P had 42. Is it Cindy Daly with 42? Yeah. Okay, Cindy, you were the first person closest without going over. There we go. So Cindy and Sue, and I'm going to put some stuff in here in just a minute. All right, let's go ahead and fix the international, and we'll pick out some ephemera. All right, let's see here. 2 black cards. And I'm also sending Tina Sweden. I'm going to send her some of these orange ones. All right, let's see, I was going to show. Let's see, everybody gets one of these, and then everybody gets one of these. All right. Because she actually made something with the last kit that she won, and she posted it. So I'm doubling down on her. So Tina Sweden's getting a whole nother kit. All right, so let's go ahead and put some black and orange cardstock here. Wait till I type and go. This will be international only. International. Wait till I type and go. Same rules apply. 1 to 100. First 2 people closest without going over. You're welcome, Cindy. All right, here we go. Okay. There we go. International only. And then I'm going to get out the collage suit Boogie Boo and cut for you. Cut y'all out a few little things so that you can make you a couple of cards. Let's see, what else can I put in there? All right, get your numbers in. International. Did I flash out there? Then we'll paint a little bit. We'll paint a little bit on the piece that we're working on. All right, counting down. 10, 9, and hi Dot. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, here we go. New number. First 2 people closest to 67 without going over. 67 without going over. Let's scroll back. It looks like Messy Palette in Australia had 64 and Raul had 63. Am I correct, guys? Is it Messy Palette 64 and Raul 63? Y'all double check me. But it looks like Messy Oz, that's what I call her, Messy Oz in Australia. And she had 64. Raul has 63. Did anybody, is that right? All right, there we go. There y'all get some cards and some bougie boo. All right, let me cut some of these out for y'all. All right. Congratulations, everybody. Let's pick some stuff out. Okay, so I am going to also just give y'all some random scraps. You could use it as a background. So I'm just going to make 4 piles here. Make 4 little piles, and then I'll randomly put them in. This one needs a little more. Let's put this butterfly in there. Okay. So we're going to do random piles that I'll put in the envelopes. Okay. Let's see. Let's get some pumpkins here. You'll have to fussy cut them out yourself. I will trim them out here. Let's see. Haunted house. Let's cut a little, and some little orange bats are there. Let's see what I can get out of this. Give everybody a little haunted house. That's real creepy. Somebody might not like that. We better not send that. So I go, oh, all right, I'll give somebody this big one here. Let's put this, because this one has less pumpkins. Let's put this one. I'll just fold this up here. We'll do this. Okay, so everybody got a haunted house. Now, let's see what other goodies we can find in here. Is this too creepy for you guys? These girls? I know it's not for most of y'all, but you know. So, and there's bats on the back. So I'll give y'all each one of these girls. If it's too creepy, then just give it away or something. Okay, give everybody one of these girls. I'll find 1 or 2 more little items. All right. Trying to find something I can divvy up. You know what I mean? Divvy up. Some skeletons. There's some guys. I might want to use the guys. The Dracula. All right, let's see. There's the other half of the guy we used today. Some more pumpkins. I don't need more pumpkins. I need something else. Let's see. Not going to send y'all any body parts. But there are some cute little... What about this? Is this too creepy for you guys? I'm going to send y'all each one of these, and that'll do it. Kind of Wednesday-esque kind of little girls here. Okay, give y'all each one of those. All right, let's put these in here randomly. I'm just going to pick and drop. All right, there we go. So Messy Oz, Di, her name is Diane Di, Raul, Sue Connor, and Cindy Daly. I'll get these out to y'all tomorrow in the mailbox tomorrow. Okay. All right, and also, where did I put her note? I have a letter note here. Where's my note? For Tina. Tina Sweden is also going to get one. Because she made something with the last one. All righty, so I'll put her together one. Okay. Now, let's see. Let's go back over here. Move all this stuff. This stuff's going back in the book. Some of these little pumpkins. And the book goes back in the sleeve. And that way all the little bits stay contained. That's how I store my books. Okay. Now let's go ahead and put a little bit of some kind of wax paper on the edge here so that I can paint without getting it gluing the book shut. All righty. Now, any questions? Any questions, comments? Let me look. A long time I went and like your kit. Oh, thanks, Ro. Ro wins. Internationals win more often than not because there's fewer of them. But that's why I do separate ones so that the international people have a better chance too. All right, let me get a bite of my banana here. I got a tickle in my throat. All right, let's see. There's, I knew it. I knew Denise would do that. You are lagged. It's already over. I think you're lagged. Tina or somebody, would you tell A that she needs to refresh, that she's lagged? Okay. Now, let's see here. Fix my little cushiony chair there, and let's see what I want to do. I am going to pull down, and I told y'all this is one of the main reasons that I bought these, although it's not the only reason, because, you know, they're just cool and I like them. Get some baby wipes. And bring down my, I think that's either 240 or 200. The box lid. Let's pick up the lid. I hope I didn't unplug us. No, I didn't. Okay. Hang on. All right. So my acrylic brush markers, so that I can just use a little bit of color at a time. Although I will get out. No, maybe I don't even need to get out black. Let's go ahead and just use the black one too. All right. Now let's see. Let's zoom back in and turn the brightness down just a little. I think we're good. Avalanche, yes, Tina. Craftalanche. All right, so let's go ahead and see what we want to kind of painty in. And now I need some kind of let's see, what do I have over here? I have some, here's this right here. I could maybe use, I think that's dry enough. That's not gonna, if I want to blend anything. And what I can do is, because like the black, I'll probably want it kind of solid, if you know what I mean. I want it a solid black. But if there's some areas where I want it translucent, then what I'll need to do is, let me just pour a little water in this my little pumpkin I've been using. I'll get a little bit of water, or I can spray it too on the porcelain thing here, either way. And wet it down. So for instance, here, I'll do it with the black so it shows up. Okay, so like if I put down some black acrylic, and let me get a little brush, and if I just use it solid black, now let me do a solid black here like this. Okay, if I want a solid black. But if I want it to be watered down, I think I might have to zoom in again. Let's see. I'm not going to be able to see anything. But if I want it watered down, I can either dip my brush in the water or do a little spray. And look, see, now it's translucent. So you can use it either way. You see what I mean? And that's true with all the colors. Okay. And I have my baby wipe here to remove or blend. All right, so I'm just going to just do some of the edges right now. I think I want some orange there. And I can just kind of go along the edges. Although in this book, I forgot I haven't shown y'all a flip through yet today of this book. So what I want to do, I kind of gave him a dimple in his chin. Is I don't really need to go along the edges here with this because I outlined it all in gold. I'm outlining the whole book in gold, but this area right down here is a little thick. So let's go ahead and put some down there just to fill in. Okay. And some up in there too. So I'll just put some up here and kind of blend it out. Blend it in. And we'll put some stars. We'll put some mist. Of course, we got to have mist through this misty, through Haunted Village or whatever it is. And if y'all haven't seen me do any of my color book, if y'all are new and haven't seen me do any color booking, I have a playlist for that. I also have a playlist for abandoned books, altered books, mixed media, collage. There's playlists for all this. All right, so there we go. Let's just put a little bit up there on the top because we can put some stars up in there. All right. And again, I'm going to have mist coming through it all too. All right, let's go ahead and fill in right in here. Could almost use it's working out with the watered down black, but I could almost use a forest green in there. Like, let's see here. Like maybe this green. So rather than having to get out, big, my big jars, I use this is what I use for pretty much all my painting is just craft paint like this. But rather than, squeezing out a whole bunch of those colors, I can just use little dabs of color like this and kind of fill in some of those trees there. Let's see. Am I missing anybody? Hi, Keeks. So hi, Kimberly. Thank you, Kat. All right, let's see here. I think I'm going to get some orange. Okay, so I got this black. I got some green. Let's get some orange. And I just clean my brush off there. Let's see, which orange do I want? This one, maybe? That's a nice orange. And then maybe a yellow orange. Let's see, let's test this one. I can't see because I'm so zoomed in. That's too... It's not the right color. Let's try this. Those colors there. Because I think I'm going to want to do I might want to do some yellow mist as well. If I do that, I will probably go ahead and put out a little kind of an orange color. I'll probably put out some paint for that so I can water it down and make a little bit more than just a tiny bit. But I love these for just the little tiny areas. Okay, I want maybe a little bit of let's see this. Kind of a yellow ochre gold color. That's well, maybe not. Let's go ahead and put some of this in here. And then take my brush and just kind of make a little bit of a mist coming over here. Maybe a little bit of the oranges too. So you can just kind of really get little tiny details painted. See what I'm talking about? These tan colors I'm covering up and making orange. Need a little bit more orange. And I just put a little bit out on the it doesn't have to be a porcelain tray. It can be a piece of plastic. It can just be a piece of packaging. You can do this with any acrylic markers. Any acrylic markers. Where's a piece of, here we go. Here we go. Just a piece of packaging. Say it's, waterproof, same as the porcelain tray here. You can do the same blendy thing over here on this. And any acrylic markers or any acrylic paint. I want a few more bats in there. When that dries, I might put a few more bats in there too. And it's just fun to kind of, you know, do details. Hi, Jackie. Anybody else I missed coming in? Maybe some more trees. Of course, I'm going to want to do something with the watch. You know, the time. They're the time travelers coming through to see this haunted house. What's going on over here, people? Oh, I didn't want to cover up the street light. All right, let's put a little bit of orange right behind her just to fill that in. And I'm outlining everything with gold anyway. All right, let's see. Let's go with a little bit more. Do I want a little bit more of this green and a little bit of olive green too? I think those. I wish you could see over here too. Kind of a yellow and a. Just mix that a little bit. We're back in here. That's too green. Let's see. So I'm going to need to add a little bit of black to that. There we go. But I want to keep our bat. So now let's go ahead and put some orange behind him because that way we can see him. Kind of like a little bit of a glow there behind him. Let's see. Watercolor mark. You can use watercolor markers, but they'll move, Ellen. They're not waterproof. Acrylic markers are waterproof once they're dry. Once it's dry, that you can go over them, add more, layer it up, but you can't do that with watercolor. Watercolor will reactivate. So you can put down some watercolor, but you can't go back over it and over it and over it because you're just going to be moving it. Okay, so let's see. Let's get a little bit of the black trim right around his eye here. There's not really a lot to fill in, to tell you the truth. You can just brighten things up. Like her collar here, we can make it a little bit more. We could put some yellow on that just to brighten it up. Let's put this a little bit of this yellow green over here. And if you water it down, you can go over the image and you won't be covering up the image completely. See what I'm saying? You can still see through it. Okay. Maybe a little up in there. What else do I want? Maybe that needs a little bit more orange right in here. And you can make it as opaque as you want or as translucent as you want. Plus, I'm going to do mist and some splatter up in the top. This needs a little bit blacker up here at the top here. Let's just go ahead and put some solid black up there. All right, I'm just going to let this sit for a second. I'll do a quick flip through this book so y'all can see the other pages that I've done in this book. I think I'm good for the edges. Like I said, I'm going to outline it in gold, so I think I'm good on the edges now. But let me just put something here while I shut the book, because I'm going to, in case there's something wet there. All right, so let's go back to the beginning. Let's see. Let's go ahead and zoom out. There's only a little note there. Let's move that up there. Let's back out one. All right. And they're all varnished too. I'm trying to really complete this book. All right, so here's, see how it's white right there in the middle? That's open and closing it. It's going to crack right there in the middle. You can't really do anything about that. If it bothers you, can go back and you can fill it in, but you know, it is still, I have varnished over it, so that's not really going to stay much. It'll eventually wear off. But that's what happens if you're right in the crack. But anyway, I'm varnishing all these pages and outlining them all in gold. You can see the gold edge there. And I did want to try to finish this book this year, but it's probably not going to happen. In this book, I'm trying not to put anything dimensional, because then when you go to work on the back side, you're fighting a bump. You know, whether it's stickles or liquid pearls, it's gonna be bumpy. So I'm trying not to put anything dimensional in this book. So creativity is making your flaws look intentional. I love this. Oh my goodness. And I skip pages. The reason I skip pages, if you go front to back to front, then your spine will stay flat. Okay. This one's a little less of an issue because it's not connected to the cover, right? But if you just go front to back, your spine's going to go, and you're going to have it's going to be a benty, warped spine. Hi, View. Anybody else I missed coming in? Yes, Vale. I have, but I don't know that I did a complete one today because I've cut into it so much. You're not going to see the completed book. I show when I get my books when they're fresh and new, I always do a flip through of them, but then I use them. I'm using my books all the time. So by the time I use them a third or fourth time, you want to see a flip, you're not going to see the whole book. You know what I mean? But yeah, I always flip my books. Okay, so there you can see how it's varnished. And I use, let me show you the bottle here, because people ask all the time. I put on the back of my door now is one of those plastic shoe racks, you know, that you can put shoes in, you know, row after row after row of shoes. And now it's all my mediums, my varnishes and stuff like that are in there. So when you hear me open and closing the door and you hear it banging a little bit, it's because the shoe rack is banging on there. Anyway, this is the varnish I use. It's Deco Art Americana Duraclear High Gloss, water-based. You do not have to use this brand, but you want to use water-based. Don't get an oil-based. I'm warning you right up front. Do not get an oil-based varnish to use in your journals. And the other thing that I use, another reason I like my Golden Matte Medium is once it's dry, your pages will not stick. And as long as you let this dry, like overnight, if you put it on your page, make sure you dry it overnight, this will not stick your pages together. Okay. But you got to let it dry. There's been a couple, I think it's in here too. There's where I didn't let it dry and it's stuck, you know, so you got to make sure it's dry. So I'm going to go skipping my pages here. Okay. This wasn't quite dry, so I put a piece of thing in there. But look, see how right in the crack, if it's not completely dry, you got a little bit of varnish in there. This is what happens. I can fix it, but I'm just showing you. I should not fix it. I should leave it so you can see. That's what happens if the varnish gets in the crack, because see, I've varnished this already. If the varnish gets in the crack and it kind of seeps in there and you don't even realize it, and you feel, oh, it's all dry. You close your book and look, right in the crack, it wasn't dry. So you got to make sure it's 100% dry because that will happen. Okay. This was one of my Time Travelers double page. There's my Time Traveler right there. My little Time Traveler down there. This is a big space that he's traveling through here. Then This one we did just like a couple weeks, maybe a month ago. I say it seems like a couple weeks ago. It's probably a month, maybe in 2 months. But we did this one, and yeah. And you can read into it. One of the things I like about surrealist collages is you get to pick what's in your head, what you see in it to make up your own story. Now, sometimes I'll say something like, today, my two time travelers, they travel back in time. These skulls is it them? Is it not? They're seeing a Halloween scene. But, for the most part, I just let y'all make it up yourself. I mean, I have a vision in there, but in my head, and it may not match yours, but that's the point. It may not match your vision. So here's some mist, and I love this one. I took a walk in the woods and came out taller than the trees. I just love these creepy rabbit dolls. They're just kind of fun. All right, let's see what else is in here. We did this one a couple months ago, maybe. There's our time traveler peeking through the portal here. He's looking through the portal. Back here we got dinosaurs and maps, vintage maps, old ships, and he's looking out through here and seeing what he's seeing here. So in this space out here, and gears and time, and then you can't see it right here, but there's gold watch hands there. Okay, this one. This is our little girl going to this town here. She could be a time traveler. I love time, the element of time. In case you didn't realize, time and space. I grew up on science fiction. I love science fiction, the old science fiction. Okay, then this is the one that's stuck, and I haven't really tried to fix it that much. I just put some green on there, but you can see where the green is, which I could leave because it kind of gives it a mossy look. But that is where my varnish had not dried. Closed the book, and it peeled up. So I just threw on some green. I could fix it better. I can go over this, but it is varnished. So if you go over varnish, you really need to varnish it again because the paint's not going to stick to the varnish, right? So there's this one. So this has got a whole thing going on here, down here, down here. You can see the little waterfall down there. Okay, flipping. This is the one when we did, I think it was spring forward. This was a time change so now it can also go for the fall back next weekend. But this was my daylight savings time page. So you can see you're coming through here. See it coming through? Here it comes. Here it comes. There it goes. There it goes. It's coming and going. Bye, Jackie. All right, let's see. Then this one, Beth Schuler had sent me some lemurs out of a magazine. So I use them in my lemur library, and they're completely painted over with acrylic. There's no magazine left. They're completely painted over with acrylic paint. So you can take some magazine images and paint over them like that and make your own little lemur world or any animal world. Okay, then this is where we are right now. We'll come back to this in a minute. Let's see. Here's my little grandmother in her mushroom tree forest. I turned the tree houses into mushroom houses. Gave it some mist and some mystery. A little bit of stenciling down, stamping. That was Miriam stamps. Let's see. And then this is just a couple of pictures. This is when Samantha went to Stonehenge over her 2.5 months in Europe. And then I turned it into this and made her a collage. So some of these are leftover collages, prints for the collage that I made. And then, View sent me this, and I put it in here because I'm going to color it and use it sometime in this book. So she sent me this, um, what's his name now? I can't think of his name, but his poster, and I'm going to use it in here somewhere. All right, so let's go back over here. And let's see, I want to do some mist, and I kind of wanted some orange and white mist. So let's see, let me just kind of clean this off while it's still wet, so I'm not putting my paint in there. Okay, there we go. Let me clean that little brush. I don't want to get rid of this water. I'll pour it in my water bucket behind me. All right, and let's see here. Let's add some mist and some stars. Then we'll head out. And I appreciate all y'all being here. I hope y'all enjoyed it and got some ideas, some inspiration. All right. So when I do mist, I usually do it with just white, but I'm going to add a little bit of orange here. And then also I need to do the watch hands. But I think I'm going to do the watch hands. Do I want them in the background or do I want them in the foreground? I think I'll just leave them for now. I'm going to end up adding watch hands, but we'll see what direction. I think I want one coming up toward the eye, even though it's directly. No, it's going to have to go over here. It's going to have to go to this guy. The watch hand's going to go to him, and it's got to go to her. So let's go ahead and put that in. Let's see. All right, we can do that with a Posca. If I have a thin Posca right here. Let's see, do I have one here? Where's my thin Posca? Here, here's one. And also, after the Posca dries, I can go over it with color pencil, so it doesn't have to be white. And I'll also end up, well, here, I'll do this because it's small. These watch hands are not going in the direction, although that one pretty much is, almost going to her. I'm going to want it right there. It's not quite. So I'm just going to go ahead and block out. I'm just going to get some, let's see, maybe this kind of blue color. That's almost the right color. A little bit of that blue and a little bit more purple. Let's see, that's maybe. I'm just going to put down a little bit of blue and purple just so I can white out that watch hands. Let's see if this will do it. I need a little bit of white. Let's put a little Posca here. This kind of looks like a cloud coming through there. Okay, so we'll let that dry. Well, I'll hit it with the heat gun because I want it to hurry up and dry. So get rid of the watch hands, and then I can put them where the direction I want them to go. Oh, thanks, Helen. Did you can't go. I'll be here a few more minutes. All right, so let's dry this. And I do need a ruler for this because I've got to make sure it goes from the right one end to the other end correctly. So let's see. And again, it's going to be bright white, but I'll go over it with, tone it down to make it look like watch hands. That could maybe be some orange on one side, maybe purple on the other. But the idea is the time traveler, and they're the time traveler. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the watch hand go to the pupil of her eye and give her a glow. Okay, so let's go right there. And I can put a yellow glow, an orange glow. Okay, so there's her. And this is straight, but there's a bend in the book. All right, and then him. This is going to go right up to him. And the same thing. that a little straighter. There we go. Okay. Like that. All right, now let me dry this because I can go over that with pencil. I can go over the white and make it orange and purple. The watch hands, orange, purple, maybe a little bit of gold on them. But I want to do some glow. I mean some mist. So let me dry this because if I go over it right now, it's going to move it. I think that's dry. All right, and plus, I told y'all, do I have a gold pen? Where's my gold pens? Are they right here? What did I do with them? I'm not sure I set my gold. I use a gold metal calligraphy. Like, here's a new one. I need to, this is so that you know what they look like. They look like this. I'll just open it because I don't know where the other one is right now. Oh, it's got the plastic on it. Hang on. Let me get my knife here and cut the plastic off of it. Okay. Just a second, just so y'all can kind of see. I'll just do one edge because I'm going to do a mist coming off, and I don't want it to, this will take a minute to dry because this is the metallic gold. So, well, I do because I want it to look a certain way, Tina, and you got to. All right, so I'm going to turn it over just for a minute so I can do the top here, just so y'all can see what it looks like with a gold edge. Then I'll hold it up. And this does smell. It's like a, I don't know, is it an alcohol base? I don't know. When it has that smell to it, you know. Okay, so there you can see the shine. So I have been outlining all these pages in this book with gold. But I'm not going to do this right now because I want to do the mist, and this won't be dry that quick. All right, so here we got a little bit of the orange, and I need a little bit of some white here. And what I do to make mist, I get a fresh baby white that's wet. You know, they're wet. And then let's do two together here. What I do is I wrap my finger in it and I put it in my hand. Put a little bit of orange in this one. And what this does is it mashes the paint into the baby wipe. Okay. That's why I do this. It mashes the paint into the baby wipe. Now I got to decide where I want the mist to come from and go. I think I want it behind him to that haunted house. Behind that. See, do I want it behind the bat? I think I want it up there behind her. I'm not going to have a lot this way. And then she'll have some coming around this way. So under this little person, right? There's a little person right there. And then back up over there. I think that'll do it. I'm not going to put a lot. I don't think. I say that. Maybe that bat, a little bit over his wing there, and then behind his wing. Needs a little bit more orange. Coming behind her. Right there in the little crevice. It's a little tricky. And then I'll take a clean baby wipe and just kind of blend it out a little bit. I'd have to go back over a little bit. And you can always go back in there with Posca or other things. Okay, so just going to add a little bit more mist right there. And I'll probably add a little bit of a glow. I should probably do this with color pencil, not with the piece. But I can add a little bit of I'll put a little bit of maybe a little bit of orange. Let's see. There we go. A little bit of a glow. I know you can't always see that. All right, I can always add more. Can't really take it off, though, once it's dry. There's no going back. So, and again, on the watch hands, I'll put an orange line on top and a purple line underneath with color pencil. I could probably do that real quick. Maybe it needs a little bit of mist up there. Let's put just a little bit of mist across there because that moon up there. Let's see here. We'll put a little extra mist. Kind of far away. Like that. Maybe it needs a little coming across here. Some bats. There we go. All right. Shh, shh, shh. There we go. How's that? Okay. Whew. Holding my breath. I think that's probably dry. Let me see about getting an orange and a purple. Hang on. Which purple do I want? Probably that one. I hope y'all enjoyed this. Again, Kathy Berg. Kathy Berg comes on tomorrow, 10 Eastern. Once I have a line there, where going exactly where it needs to go, I don't really need a ruler. I can just follow the line. I'm going to put purple too. Maybe one yellow dot. See, if it wasn't in a book, I'd probably put a jewel. I'd put a stickles or a jewel right in their eye, but I don't want any dimension in this book. So I'll probably just put some a dot of yellow. And then underneath, I'm going to put a shadow of purple, and you'll still see a little bit of the white, but okay, and now a dot of yellow. A nice bright yellow. Let's see if that's going to be bright enough. Okay. There we go. I think we're done, guys. I'll outline it in gold, and I'll post a picture of it on Instagram along with the 2 books that I took from, the Collage Suit books, the Bougie Boo and the Timekeeper one. So y'all know which books I got them out of. And there we go. Thanks, Kathy. Thank you so much. There's Kathy Berg's name right there. So she comes on at 10 Eastern on Tuesdays. Janet comes on at 1. Let's see. She loves monsters. Be on Dee's channel. View anytime you want. She who loves monsters. Oh, is there a She Who Loves Monsters here? Oh, hi, She Who Loves Monsters. Yeah, you can come back and watch this. I keep all the chat and everything up. But remember, if you want to see all the chat, you have to click all messages, I think is what it says, because otherwise it just does top chat or top messages, and you don't see all the chat unless you click on it. You have to do that yourself. But I'll go find your channel and follow you too. As long as you got content. If you're creative and got content, I will follow you. So Janet, what do you know what you're going to do today? Where's Janet? Here's Janet. There's Janet. Do you know what you're going to do today? Janet comes on at 1 Eastern on Mondays. I stream every Monday and Wednesday at 8:30 Eastern. So thank you, Ellen. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to head out. I hope you enjoyed this. I'll post a picture of it here shortly. Okay, so Janet's going to do watercolor and a creepy pumpkin. All right, that's going to be fun. All right, so Janet comes on at 1 Eastern. Y'all have a great rest of your day, and we will see you at Janet's, Kathy's, and be back here Wednesday. Bye, guys.